All right, so before we start our full-fledged development of priority queues, let's write out a specific API now expressed in Java. Obviously, this is going to be at a higher level of detail than the one we talked about before, because before we talked about just the concept. So this is what we have. So we have our max PQ. Notice, of course, that we have our typing, right? So this is use of generics. And basically what we're saying is the stuff I put into this priority queue must be comparable with itself, right? So key here, right, is going to be the generic that refers to like the type of the thing I want to throw in the priority queue, right? And then when I write this over here, extends of comparable priority queue, basically what you're saying is, hey, that particular key must implement that comparable interface, right? That's called comparable over here, right? And then in the brackets here, we have the word key again. Basically what it's saying is keys must be able to compare with themselves, right? So key gets compared with key. And that is key again, right? So it's saying I want to compare with myself, right? Because that's what makes sense, right? If I want to throw a bunch of things in this priority queue, I should be able to order them, right? I need to be able to compare them, right? I want to be able to compare them with one another. So yeah, that's our constraint, right? That's a typing constraint. That's something we definitely need in order to implement a priority queue in Java. All right, so now we got our different functions here. First thing, right, is basically our constructor. Our constructor is, I mean, whatever, right? It's super simple, right? It does some stuff. It's the thing we need in Java, right, in order to make sure we instantiate an object. So that's fine. Next thing, right, is kind of an overload, right? So this is a max PQ constructor that takes in a parameter. Basically, what this is doing, right, is has some other notion of capacity. Now, capacity sometimes we want to be a little careful with because it's like, well, the user shouldn't really have to care about it. But here, just for kind of the sake of convenience, we're going to have some basically way to create a priority queue object that's set up to contain a certain number of elements, right? So if I know I'm going to have 10,000 things in there, I can initialize it so it's all set up to do those 10,000 out of the box. Not too interesting for us, right? We won't really worry about that too much here. All right, so the next thing I have here, right, is this other, max PQ. Basically, what this is saying is I want to create a max PQ, and I've already got the data for it, right? So I have some sort of an input called A, which ends up being an array, and that array has tons of things in there. Those are all valid keys, right? Things that are comparable themselves. I want to initialize this max PQ by basically just throwing everything in there, right? That's what I've written out there. So this is, about capacity. This is about creating it from, existing keys, right? So these are kind of orthogonal, right? They're a little bit different. Honestly, I don't really even use either of those myself in practice. I usually just create a PQ and just let it worry about everything, right? Rather than being too specific. All right, so these are the creation ones, right? So these are all creation. Now we have basically our main functions, right? So first thing we have is insert, right? So insert is what we talked about before. Lets me add an element, right? It's going to be of type key. The return type is void because, what am I going to get back, right? I just want to throw something into a bag and forget about it. All right. Next thing is max. So this one somehow, maybe I'll add a little notion in here. So this is sort of like somehow like the notion of peak. So it's like you have a stack, right? It's like I don't want to remove an element. I just want to look at what the topmost thing is. That's what max is doing. It's just letting me look a little bit and not, forcing me to remove it. Versus over here, I have del max, my next one, which is going to look at the top, return it, and then, it's returning it and removing it from the collection, right? It's destructive, right? The first one, is just previewing it. The second one is actually removing it, okay? And in this case, right, it's a priority queue, so max is giving me like what is the largest element. Delete max is giving me what is the large element and returning it, while removing it from the collection. So yeah, those are our two for basically, trying to figure out what is the maximum in there. Next up, we got a pretty standard. This one is empty, right? So basically, is empty is do I have anything or not, right? Pretty easy to implement. Last one there is size. Size is the number of elements in the priority queue. So yeah, this is what we got. For now, you can kind of envision them as black boxes. We're going to go through and implement these, but for now, they're basically a black box for you guys. All right, so we've taken a look at the API. Let's maybe look a little bit about how it can be used.